As we all know, Lego gets dusty, and that's why in this video I'm going to be showing you my top 5 ways to remove it, what works and what doesn't work, for you to make your decision on how you're going to remove the dust off your Lego. So without further ado, let's get right into the first method. And that is, of course, just blowing on it. Let's take for example this patch here, the dock. It's been very dusty, sitting out for a while. And that brings me to my first point. Why does Lego get dusty? If you leave it out in the open, little particles in the air will settle on the Lego. A lot of insect eggs and stuff like that too, dead flies can end up collecting in it, all adding to the dust. Most of this will be on the top surfaces of the build, so that's all you'll have to worry about. But of course, sometimes it can get in other places too, but I'll be showing you how to deal with it later in the video. And so the first method is just blowing on the Lego. As we can see, it does not work very well, and in fact I've been told not to blow on Lego because apparently it's unhygienic and spreads germs. The only reason I'm happy to do it is because I'm going to clean it with my better methods later in the video, so make sure you watch till the end to find out what those are. The second method I think we should definitely discuss is Blu-Tack. I've got a bit of Blu-Tack right here, and as you can see, if I just press it on the Lego, it ends up cleaning off a lot of the dust. We can see it's a pretty easy method, and all you really need is a piece of Blu-Tack. So it definitely makes it viable for a lot of people. The only thing is that it can be hard to get in all the tight spaces. Even though it does kind of reach between the studs, it doesn't always do a perfect job, but it can definitely work quite well. I'm just going to clean this tower here quickly, just to show you what exactly it can do. As we can see, I'm just holding it between my fingers and pushing it into the gaps. It's picking up the dust and lifting it off, which gets stuck onto the Blu-Tack. You can use this with any similar tack. I do know that they sell specific Lego cleaning or keyboard cleaning goo, but I'm pretty sure it's all the same, and so I wouldn't pay extra for it. We can see on the studs here, you can do the same thing, and it kind of works, but it can't quite reach between all the studs, which brings me to my next method, and that is, of course, a brush. Just taking a clean toothbrush and dusting the build can remove a lot of the dust. I think this works quite well, it's very easy, and everyone has a toothbrush lying around at home. Of course, you could use a dirty toothbrush, but just don't, okay? Don't do it. The other thing is, once you've done this, a lot of the dust will be on the brush, and so don't use it once you've done this. Just like keep the brush for Lego. It's really not that hard, okay? Okay, everyone. The good thing about the brush is that it can reach into a lot of small areas, such as the studs and around the gaps. But the bad thing is, of course, the head can't reach into a lot of areas, making things like minifigures difficult. In fact, it might be better to just remove minifigures before you do the cleaning, just to make it a little easier for yourself. But as you can see, it's removing the dust very well. I know they also sell specific dust cleaning brushes, dusters, and even miniature vacuums for this kind of thing, but I find that there's no point paying extra when the brush works just well. We can also see that not a whole lot of the dust gets stuck on the brush, and that is because it all ends up on the table, so make sure you're going to clean the table when you're done. Now, of course, this isn't a perfect solution, and a lot of the dust gets left behind, but I think it does a much better job than just leaving it, which is what I've been doing just before this. In case you're wondering, is this the original Eldorado Fortress? No, this is the one from 2023, which I have in fact modified a little bit anyway, so it might not be quite the same as what you know, because I've changed up the trees and a few other things. Let me know if you can spot the changes I've made in the comments. And if you think I should make a video showing how I've modified this. As we can see here, even the insect eggs and small bits of dust getting off, but of course there are parts that aren't. So some of them I'll just leave, but some of them I might just brush over again just to make sure that it all gets removed. I find the brush works well for rock work and areas that aren't flat as well, just because the bristles reach into the gaps just like teeth. Of course, with deep crevices like this, even if the brush can reach in, it can make it hard to scoop the dust out. So for places like this, if I was really feeling particularly industrious, I might remove the tiles and then clean it, but for now it should be alright. Of course, the best way to clean Lego is to dismantle every piece, wash them all in a sink, and then put them all back together, but of course that takes a very long time, and that's why I don't really do it. I know there are people that say that's the only way to clean Lego, but for us that don't spend all day doing stuff with Lego, I don't think it's particularly necessary. Of course, the easiest surfaces to clean are plain tiles, so if you really want to make your Lego builds easy to clean, just tile them off completely and you'll be done in like 30 seconds. But for those of us that want more texture, this is, I think, one of the better ways to do it. The other way to reduce dust from gathering on Lego is by buying those acrylic display cases that you might sometimes see. This way the dust settles on the outside of the case instead of on the Lego, which can be easily wiped off. The only problem is they cost hundreds of dollars, so I'm not sure I'd be spending them just to keep the Lego from getting a bit dusty. And as well as this, I feel like it removes you from the Lego, and it means you're not going to be taking it off, putting minifigures to display them, because you can't really see them when they're behind the case. And it might remove some of the accessibility and of course the customizability of the Lego if it has to fit within a certain display case. If you have any other methods to clean Lego, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what they are, or even if you own a Lego cleaning company. Of course, I'll be happy if you send me some stuff for me to review. With a build like the Eldorado Fortress, after cleaning the top section, I've realized all the dust has fallen back to the bottom, so now I have to clean that again, which brings me to the point that I was going to bring up at the beginning but forgot to talk about, and that is start at the top and work your way down. There's really no point doing the bottom first and then cleaning it twice when all the dust resettles, because as I've said, all the dust falls down onto the table or whatever Lego is below it. The other thing I wanted to say is that in large builds like this one, the best way to clean it is to break it up into smaller sections. For the purpose of this video, I haven't, but normally I would. And the other day when I was cleaning the Lion Knight's castle, I did exactly that, breaking it into the two sections and doing them one at a time. The only problem was that I did one section, was satisfied with it, and then didn't do the other. So of course, if you're doing one, make sure you do them all. Otherwise you'll end up with a build that's half dusty. I must say, I really like how they've made the beaches here with these curved tiles. I never really appreciated it until now, but it does make it really easy to clean. As we can see, the table has gotten quite dusty and a few pieces have fallen off, but that's just Lego cleaning, and I'll just have to clean the table after. If you found this video helpful, why not like and subscribe? And meanwhile, I'll just keep dusting off these rocks. I do think the less surfaces you have in a Lego build, the easier it is to clean, but of course the less surfaces you have, the less nice it looks, so I'm glad there are a lot of surfaces. I think it's definitely worth it, and I think that's my thoughts on Lego more generally. Building it is worth it because it looks nice and it's fun, even if it's a bit of a pain to build, a pain to buy, and of course a pain to clean. After just telling you guys to clean from the top and work your way towards the bottom, I've just realized I've been doing the exact opposite. So that just shows you that Even I need to listen to my advice. To make this a little bit easier, I'm going to dismantle this build slightly, just breaking apart the sections to make it more accessible, and take off some of the minifigures. The only problem with the Eldorado Fortress is that it has to be taken apart in a very specific way, which I can't quite remember. I do know that it says it in the instructions, I just can't be bothered finding them right now, so I'm just going to mess around with it until I find the way to disassemble it. LEGO designers, if any of you are watching this, please in the future make it more common sense on how to take it apart, because I really don't want this whole build to come flying apart just to clean a bit of dust off it. Turns out the way I had it was right, it's just, the clips are quite strong from being clipped together for all these months. We can see that all the spaces underneath have pretty much no dust, and I kind of want to keep it that way, so I'm just using my hand to cover up those places so that all the dust that flies off won't settle in there. We can also see all these open studs do make it pretty hard to clean, so once again, if any LEGO designers are watching this, please tile off more of your builds. It not only looks nicer, but it also makes it easier to clean. With that said, we are at nearly 1,000 subscribers on the channel, which has been great to see, but we are aiming to hit 1,000 as soon as possible. So if you'd like to subscribe, if you enjoyed the content or you'd like to see more, then please do. It just helps us make better quality videos and make more videos for a bigger audience.